test.
Test, 1, 2, 3, test, test.
Turn it off that night. Off night that.
It's on.
So
Connect. No. Oh, yeah. Well, there's Pat. Yeah, we've never met at 3, but we'll go ahead and start. Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Guam Election Commission to order. It is 3:03 p.m. Saturday, August 3rd. We are here located at the Guam Election Commission offices at the Oka Building in Tumuning. Quorum is present. Myself, Jerry Crisostomo, Chairman, Commissioner Joseph Mafnes, Vice Chair, Commissioner Ricky Orsini, Commissioner Joe Meno, Commissioner Benny Panaula, Commissioner Antonio Gamatauta, and Commissioner Pat Seville. Also present is our Executive Director, Maria Pangilinan, and our Legal Counsel, Vince Camacho. Our agenda is in front of you, but we'll dispense of the items on the agenda until tonight. And we'll go on right to the issue, the copy of the letter that was received last night. Marie, you want to go ahead and talk about that?
So we received a request from the Amanda Shelton camp. Both the chairman and I received the email requesting for 3 badges for the Election Return Center.
Right, so normally the policy with the commission is we've given, this is a badge for the election return headquarters tonight. Normally the access badges go to the members of the media, as well as 2 badges to each political parties. And then they can distribute what they want. We've not given, at least from what I've been told and in my experience, we've not given any access badges to any of the candidates, whether they're gubernatorial, congressional, or senatorial, or mayoral. So it's not the first time, but we wanted to, in all fairness, address it. You want to discuss what?
I think we've, the staff and I have been going back to figure out if we've given to teams in the past. And I don't think so. And I think what I remember is that one party lent the badges to the other party. I think some of you remember that most recently. I don't remember if we've ever given it out to other teams.
To candidates, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be, if you were to give to one self-candidate or a candidate, then you would have to offer that to, I would think, everybody else, to be fair.
That's up to you.
Yeah, I think in 2018, there were 4 Democratic teams, and one of them wanted access. And it just so happened that the Republicans only had 1 representative there and gave that extra badge to that Democratic team to enter the premises. That was the only time that I think we ever gave a candidate. But it wasn't the commission doing it. It was Republican Party representative. So I don't, yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Oh, go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just going to, two thoughts on this. One is she doesn't really give any reason for this or any reason why the congressional candidates would get badges and not other candidates. I think all of the candidates seem to be aligned with parties. The more interesting issue would be if we ever get an independent candidate, would you give the independent a badge, you know? So, but that's not before the commission, so we don't have to go there.
As you know, the area that we place the observers, the media, and others is it's not a very large area that won't hinder the tabulation errors. So and that's one consideration.
And I'm sorry, and the one other thing, the party representatives are the first people that get the press, the updates, the periodic updates of the tabulations that we issue. We give them to the parties before the press. I mean, it's at the same time, but the party actually reps get them first.
That's right, yeah.
As soon as the commissioners okay the unofficial results, our election results people put it up on our website almost immediately.
Commissioner Joe? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo what you just said about the previous, I think it's 2018, where the Republican was so generous to lend us a badge, and that's how we did it. But my point here about this situation about having the badge for the congressional, I think it's the party's responsibility to do that. But then something came to mind also. If we're going to do this, then we might be opening up a can of worms, and maybe the legislature candidate might have to have a representation there too. So food for thought here is that I don't want to be part of this where we're going to open up something and then we have to either get some remark back and so forth and so on. So my food is the party, the one that's make the decision for the whole shebang. So that's my line of thinking anyway.
Commissioner Benny?
Mr. Chairman, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be live streamed at UOG, correct?
Yes.
And it always has been? There is
Well, it's on the GEC website.
on the GE website?
And
G-
KUM.
And
And KUM.
So, if there's a issue in terms of, being present and observing, not only for the candidates, but for the public at large, it is available to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's real time. When Commissioner Seville distributes the results, everybody gets it almost at the same time. At least the party reps get them at the same time. Yeah. Okay. Any other comments? I mean, Maria, on this one, how do we proceed with this?
You just say yea or nay amongst the 7 of them.
I don't think.
It make that into a motion. Mr. Legal?
I don't think you have to make it a motion. You just ask Maria to remain consistent with what the commission has done in the past. There's nothing in the statute that requires the commission to issue badges. And so at this point of the game, at this point in the game, I should say, it would be better to remain consistent rather than to change the rules in the middle of the game at this point in time.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I agree with legal. I think just to be consistent with all the races, there shouldn't be any difference between a congressional, legislative, and the mayoral races this year. So I like to keep not the policy, but the tradition the same as in the past. Any other, commissioners, do you have any other comments to add? Tony? Okay, so Maria, yeah, just I guess, respond to we did receive this in writing, so it should be responded to in writing, to let them know, because this is in a few hours today. Okay. Is there any public comments, public participation? Yes. Oh, John. Go ahead and state your name. You can go ahead and state your name in the front.
Sure. My name is John Ryan, and I am part of the Shelton campaign. I do want to clarify, that letter asks for passes for each of the candidates, not 3 passes for the Shelton campaign. I think it's reasonable, your position, but I would urge you to consider moving forward a couple things. More and more, it seems like there's more candidates, more primaries, more challenges, more write-ins, more whatever in our elections. At the same time, there's less public participation. The more transparency, the more ability for people to see, to engage, to observe what's going on, I think is only for the better. I think legal counsel Camacho makes a good point. It's hard to change things right now. It's, you'll begin tabulating ballots less than 6 hours. On the other hand, to say this is how we've always done it, let's not change things, I think I would urge you in 2025 or later this year to start considering requests like this and things like this. And there's a lot of reasons. I don't need to get into it now, but I would love the opportunity to engage with you sometime down the road as to the reasons for this, and maybe not in this public meeting at this time, but I want you to consider one thing, because all of you have been involved in this process. Some of you in this room have been party chairman yourselves before. So one of those 2 passes is more than likely going to go to the legal counsel for the party. So that leaves 1 pass left, right? So that pass will probably be the chairman of the party. But if they're not going to be there all evening, or if they have the ability to just give that to whom they want, what's to prevent, you're putting the chairman of that party in the position of having to decide who they want to give that pass to, for how many hours. You're also ceding or giving away control of a pass that you issue. What if a party chairman gives a pass to someone who then causes some type of ruckus or some type of disruption of the process in there? Whereas if a pass is issued to each interested party with a vested interest, they can be held accountable through that campaign. If Mr. Seville's given a pass by the party chairman because he's just a public citizen, not the chairman, not a member of this commission, and he goes in and he does something that disrupts the process for whatever reason, and I know he won't, I'm just using him as an example, who's responsible? How do you go back on that? I would add, there's just things moving forward that I would urge you to maybe consider and take a look at. In this particular case, the reason this letter was written, just so you know, our party chairman is in a position of a very contested primary, really the only island-wide contested primary. There's some very contested mayoral races, as you all know well better than me, that in which this, the optics of the situation, and you're putting the party chairman in the position of having to decide what to do, how to allocate that pass. Does he give it 2 hours to one camp, 2 hours to this, and at what hours? Because likely there's more results coming in between midnight and 2 than there are between 10 and midnight. Just all those types of things. Because there's no bigger supporter of the work that you folks do than John Ryan personally. And the work, I've witnessed the improvement in how elections are run and how this commission operates under Executive Director Pangilinan over the past 14, 15 years. And it's astounding without besmirching her predecessors. And I just would encourage you, moving forward, to start taking some of these things into account, along with all the other challenges that we have in our democracy in 2024, moving into 2025, less voter participation, and everything else that's going on. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, John. That's well noted. Any other comments or questions from the commissioners? We will recess, right? Okay, so motion to recess until this evening at 9 p.m.
So move,
at
Mr.
the
Chairman.
University of Guam. Moved by Commissioner Pinella, second by Commissioner Gumatauta. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Oppose? The ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned. I mean recessed.